Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Titus. Now in this video, I again want to share with you guys a piece of my life in terms of how I started my plant addiction. Now I've posted quite a lot of videos in relation to plants now, and I guess if you've been following the different videos that I posted, this is just a way of me actually giving back a piece of myself to you guys and share with you guys how I came about with this. So let's get started. Now the first reason why I started to have a bit of plant addiction and where it all started is actually with my mom and dad. Now both of them have been separated. My dad lives in Philippines and my mom is here in Australia with myself. But I remember there was a time when I visited the Philippines where my dad lives, and I was just amazed at the different plants that he looks after. And because that country is a tropical country overall, plants actually like to thrive there. And it really got me interested in actually starting to explore plants that are easy to look after. And the very first thing that I've looked after was succulents, and I will go back to that. So that's with my dad's side. Now with my mom, here in Australia, I remember there were a few vegetables, cuttings, and different things that she used to just propagate and water, and I was just really interested to actually start growing my own plants because of my mom and my dad. So the first thing that I did was find out what is one of the easiest plants to look after, and I found out about succulents. Okay, so if you are looking for any plants at all that can just be ignored outdoor, wherever you are in the world, succulents is usually the way to go. Okay, as long as you're not overwatering it, which is mainly the main killer of succulents, you'll be fine. So the first couple of plants that I had, I can't even remember if I do have photos of it, but if I find any, I'll post it down here, were succulent sticks. Okay, so there was a time where in our old property we had my mom had thrown out some succulent sticks, and then I happened to just got them and then hoped that they would grow me plants, which funny enough, I started off with 4 of those plants and it did grow quite nicely. I believe that some of them are still with me. One of them is this really nice jade plant, which have now propagated and grown to several jade plants, and I've even sold some as well, which was really nice. And then I had an aloe vera, and then after that, what happened was my wife told me to join a plant online community group in Facebook. Okay, and this is where it kind of just exponentially grew, my addiction to it. So after being in that group, I found out that there were varieties of plants to actually collect and grow, and not just succulents, and more so tropical plants. Now I found out about nurseries. After I visited nurseries, I was amazed at how beautiful and luscious and healthy those plants are, and it got me interested in collecting more and more plants. Okay, after spending a bit of time in the plant community, I found out that there's a rare page group community where they sell plants. And funny enough, okay, I think it's more of a conformist type of point of view, that when people desire something that's really expensive, initially people kind of detract from it, but because of the hype and because so many people are after that thing, even though it's really expensive, you end up buying it. Now I'll show you guys one of the plants that I had bought previously. So the most expensive plant that I probably have purchased when I started my plant addiction is the Thai constellation. Okay, so it's here. This Thai constellation actually started off with just 2 leaves before, and now I have 4 leaves in total. If you want to see me unbox that video, please go ahead and do so, but this is how it is now. And I've grown a leaf that's actually quite highly variegated as well. And no, I can't afford an elbow, so I did start off with a Thai constellation. Nowadays, I've got several other rare plants that I have collected. However, just be careful with rare plants, okay? I'm probably gonna make a separate video for it, but oftentimes rare plants is it makes you excited to actually own one because of how rare it is and how expensive it is. But the thing that people don't know about rare plants is the reason why they're rare is because they're so hard to look after sometimes. And a lot of the times people regret buying expensive plants because they end up dying. So just a tip for all those who are just starting with your plant addiction, okay, just make sure that you try to buy plants that are or get plants that are green, okay, and have a lot of chlorophyll in them and are easy to look after and also cheap as well. When you guys are confident with looking after much more cheaper plants, then yes, go ahead with those rarer plants. Otherwise, if you head straight into that and then buy something really expensive, which I've seen a lot of online plant lovers out there who are not experienced, they end up killing it. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Moving on from there, after that, COVID hit. Okay, so if you're anywhere, no, again. So after that happened, what happened was COVID hit. Okay, I think anywhere around the world who has a strict government would implement lockdown. And for the longest time, I think it was like several months. Here in Victoria and Melbourne, we were in lockdown. And during that time, you stayed indoor and wasn't necessarily allowed to go to other places. And here where we're at, it's almost like savanna, which is basically grassland. There's not much rainforests here. And obviously I wanted to get nature right within where I live. So I started collecting more and more plants. Nowadays, and my wife can probably attest to this, I can tell you that we probably have more than 100 plants in the house. And no, not all of them are thriving. In fact, some of them I've probably neglected, although I'm starting to learn how to really manage this addiction, which I do want to make a next video in relation to that, how to manage your plant addiction. So yeah, that's pretty much my plant journey. So yeah, then after that, because I've collected so much plants, learning about them, I ended up converting my YouTube channel into a plant-based content channel. So you would have noticed that the past how many videos that I've been posting is about plants. I guess the reason why I really wanted to talk about plants is number one, so I can learn more about them, because it really motivates me to learn more about the plants that I'm looking after, and then reflect on it. And then number two is actually sharing it with you guys, because I know that you guys are in the same boat as me. I know that a lot of you guys who do watch and follow my video is also in the same mind space as I am. And it's crazy how it has been and how it's worked, but I know that a lot of you guys can definitely relate to what I've experienced. Please jot them down in the comments down below how your experience have been, because I know that I'm not alone. There are heaps and heaps of people that have gotten addicted to plants during the time when COVID hit. And even though COVID has finished, your love for plants may have stayed, but some of you guys may have now reverted back to your old way of living, which is, you know, interacting with people, which is good. But yeah, I want to know what your experience is like with your journey and how you became addicted to plants as well, if you do relate to me. And then the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and why I want to continue doing what I've already started doing, and why I want to progress with that, is because I started selling plants as well. So locally, believe it or not, there are other people who wants to still buy plants as well, and some of them may not have that plants. However, you know, it's a bit competitive out there. If you're gonna try and sell a plant, just make sure that it's healthy, that it's actually cheaper than what they may sell down in the nursery area, and that it's actually pest-free and well looked after as well. I might make a separate video with regards to selling plants as well. But I have made just a little bit of money out of it, which is kind of a good hobby to have. So if you're into plants, you know, don't put it to waste, do something about it. Try and sell it, make something out of it, share it to other people. It's actually good as gifts as well, because there's a lot of people who don't really know about plants until they start looking after it, and then it starts thriving, and then your plant addiction will actually kick off. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that you guys have enjoyed my story regarding my plant addiction. Again, if you guys have any stories similar to myself, please drop them down in the comments down below. If you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, goodbye and God bless.